You ready, Pekko? Ready to go on an adventure? Hello everyone, I'm here with So Fluffy and So Clean, Mr. Pekko, and we're going for an overnight hike. On this hike, we're going to do some more sous vide experiment stuff. This is the first time I've ever backpacked and hammock camped with a dog before, so we're going to see how that's going to go. And we're going to get some good footage, and we're one of my favorite areas here in the George Washington National Forest. And we're going to be up hiking around the Big Schloss area, which, if anybody's been out here before, is this really awesome spot for great views. And we're basically on the West Virginia border. So we're going to go ahead. We got all day, but we're going to have a lot of fun. Thanks for tagging along. All right, so Becky and I have gotten started up the trail. Got Lappy power. Unfortunately, Lappy power usually works downhill, not up. But Pekko's rearing to go. Bunch of new smells. And we're out in the George Washington National Forest doing the Big Schloss cutoff trail. Again, in the wonderful and beautiful Shenandoah Valley. In the last video, I took a look at it and have learned a few things since I was filming. Well, one being learning how to control your breathing when you talk. Trying not to sound horribly out of shape, which I mostly am. Especially carrying close to 45 pounds worth of stuff on my back. But we're in no rush. We have all day. We're not going far. Only about 2.5 miles. So we'll take our time. A little warmer than last time. Gonna be in the mid 60s. And only lows in the upper 40s, which I'm filming this a couple days after our test hike up in Beach Gap. So definitely a different setup than last time. And that is Pekko's favorite camping and hiking activity. So I'm excited for some of the things we're going to do on this trip. Going to try hammock camping, not for the first time, but for the first time with a dog. I thoroughly enjoy hammock camping. It's a lot of fun. Kind of got a good lightweight setup that I enjoy. Although in filming videos, you can just pretty much throw lightweight out the window. So, but I watched a bunch of videos online, and they basically had, come on, Becky, you can lick it later. Let's go. I watched a bunch of videos online of people that were hammock camping with dogs, going to a YouTube university like I do to learn things. And most of them put their dog in the hammock, which for me seemed odd because the hammock's tight enough, let alone throwing a 50 or 60 pound dog in there. So what we're gonna do is try the hammock, but I brought along two things to try out. One was a last minute purchase. So at the very least, I brought Pekko's dog blanket, newly permethrined, so he can have at least a spot to stay on the ground near my hammock under my tarp. And then I just thought it might be kind of fun to try. I popped into Walmart and they had an ultralight hammock with no suspension system. So I grabbed some paracord, a couple carabiners, and we're gonna try maybe making Pekko his own little hammock. I kind of thought about it. And I've also thought about having something like that along anyway. So I've often wondered if there was an emergency or something along the trail. Pekko hurt himself or, God forbid, get bit by a rattlesnake. What would I do? I know they don't just drop dead, but you know, time's a factor and we gotta get out. So at the very least, I think I can use that ultralight hammock as a sling or a carrying thing for Pekko if I were to get him down the mountain as quickly as I can. So, you know, because you're not gonna conveniently carry a dog down the mountain or down the trail, but if I can wrap him up in that extra hammock, I can at least get him off the mountain safely in a timely manner. So, somebody smells something powerful. Come on, buddy. So, at the very least, I think I'm going to keep that in the bag from now on, hoping that I never use it, or for that purpose at least. So, we're also going to get to more of the bottom of the sous vide thing. I think I'm on to something with cooking on the trail. It just makes it so much quicker and easier if you do it first. So we've got a properly cooked sirloin this time, and not, well, let me just put it this way. I actually read the package this time, and I know that it's not a fillet. So we're gonna have sirloin tonight. Pekko's gonna have sweet potato with his sirloin. And I also brought along a sous vide chicken breast. Now, I've watched a bunch of hiking videos on the internet, and I enjoy them immensely. But something you generally don't see people cook on the trail is chicken from its raw state. So, well, we're gonna pause here. Pekko's doing what Pekko does. So we went through a bit of a boulder field back there, and it got me thinking about my previous comment about carrying the ultralight hammock as a dog stretcher. And it's the reason why I keep Pekko attached to me on a leash at all times. I've seen so many people do the videos online that let their dogs run free. I'm not that experienced of a dog owner to honestly to feel comfortable with that at the time. You know, Pekko's only 3. What happens if he bolts? You know, what happens if he's out in front and does get tagged by a snake or something along those lines? So I just think for now, it's responsible to be keeping Pekko on a leash. Maybe if I was with a group of people, maybe in winter, you know, where I can follow his tracks and I don't have to worry about snakes or some other wildlife. In fact, the last time we were here, there was a couple hunting dogs and they had their GPS units on, and obviously they're trained to do these things. They run miles and miles around the wilderness, but had gotten poor pup got quilled by a porcupine. It was not having a good day. So it always, Pekko's not particularly around for the hunting. So we're going to keep him as safe as we possibly can. But yeah, that's just, I feel, like I said earlier, I see all the videos online of everyone's dogs running free around the wood. And the inner child wants Pekko to be a free spirit and run around. But the responsible pet owner in me says, nope, not now. As we're coming to our elevation change, I was thinking about the water situation. I brought a gallon with me, which is heavy, but that should be enough to get us through the night and the day, just taking it easy. It's not like we're crushing miles, and or it's not like we're crushing keeping my head in frame. I'm gonna have to get a better selfie stick thing for these filming, but there is a wonderful spring at the top of this mountain. It's about a mile and a half from when the trail splits off, called Sandstone Spring. And when it's running, which I haven't been here that many times, so it seems reliable the times that I've been there. Just an absolutely gorgeous spot to camp. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, I know at home it probably looks like I'm walking flat, but to me, I must be going straight up a mountain. Hang on, buddy. Have as much as you want. Don't leave any. That's enough for now. You probably have to stop again. Up the mountain. So Pekko and I are just chilling here for a few minutes in the shade. I'm in the middle of the trail, so I'll have to keep an eye out. Pekko, they want to see your face. So maybe it's good that I'm a little out of shape. And that way I'm more inclined to take a break so Pekko cannot overheat. It's the one thing I got to be careful of whenever we're hiking. So what's your temperature? Get you in the shade. Because Finland isn't known for its sandy, sunny beaches. And and exotic palm trees. Don't worry, we'll be snow camping sometime soon. All loaded up, bud? This is a final uphill spot. Until we make the ridge. So, good opportunity to bring it down. Maybe get a few more oxygen molecules inside of us for a few minutes. It's kind of one of those tough things where it's not that hot. It's probably 62, 63, but there's no leaves, and that sun, she lets you know she's there. So I think we just take it easy, step by step. There's a nice breeze. Keep Pekko out of the sun. We should be up on top of the ridge shortly. Then I got a decision to make. Pekko is the master at finding the shade. How'd they know I was hiking? Right, Pekko? Huh. It is always such a welcoming sign to see blue sky through the trees. Almost there. Well, we made it to the top. Now we've got a decision to make. We're eventually gonna go that way up to Big Schloss to get some footage and some great pictures. But there's a really nice campsite about a mile that way on a ledge. It's phenomenal. And I think Pekko wants to go that way. Plus it's towards the water, and it's also going to be less traveled. Most people go that way and up to the Big Schloss on the weekends. This is very, very busy. So, well, Pecky, since we've never been that way before, and we don't know if there's any campsites between here and there, let's go ahead and go to the one that we know. 10 more minutes of flat walking, then we're going to be at a really nice campsite. Now this is more like it. Such a nice ridge walk through here. It's nice and flat, views on either side, and most importantly, no rocks. Yes, Pennsylvania, I am talking to you. Yes, you know. Not quite sure how it'll turn out on digital zoom, but there's a really great rock ledge over there. All on this flat, not rocky section of trail. In the summertime, this will be a little bit more difficult. There's tons of prickly objects, along the trail, and Finnish Laphounds have a great way of attracting those things. But now, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a grass path up with, kind of 360 views. Of course, in the summertime, it's a little harder to see out, but that makes this time of year one of the two best times to go. Home sweet home for the night. Looks like we made it to camp. Got a great flat spot. Little bit of a challenge of trees for a hammock, but I'm sure we'll be able to look around and make something work. Got a wonderful view, campfire, already set up. Got more than enough wood. This will be awesome. So Peggy and I are going to take a little break and go ahead and get camp set up for the evening. Oh, Becky, ready for a drink? And somebody's ready for a finely deserved drink. Pekko the Shade Master. He will find any shade that he can. I think, Pecky? I think he likes it. Right now, the leading candidate are those two trees. Got nice and flat surface underneath, so I can try the new dog hammock experiment. 12 feet apart. I think that might work. Well, this is a setup for the evening. We'll do some adjustments here. Pekko's got a blanket underneath, so he's safe and up off the ground. Got a little something warm. Although feeling him right now, he's plenty warm. I think tonight will be great for him when it cools off some. We're going to now mess around with the lower hammock thing. See if I can create a little cocoon area for him to get into. If he destroys it with his talons, oh well. It's worth a shot. Give it a try. Pekko, you like the hammock? This will be fun to try out and see how she works. So we're gonna go ahead, get back to some more camp chores, and enjoy the afternoon. Don't break my hammock. Pekko is the demander of pets. You ready? Why don't you relax? I got some more stuff to do. No, Pekko, I need that back. So I have no idea what we're getting into here, or whether it was even worth it. It's only 7 ounces, so can't be that bad. Carabiners are good for 60 pounds each. Pekko weighs a healthy 55, 52. Pekko, no, you can't eat the rope. Without a doubt, a skill of mine, and the ability to take a perfectly good piece of cord or anything like that and make a knot in it, even without even looking at it or knowing it's there. So I'll be at home, and of course I'll have a power cord wrapped around my chair somehow, or other things, and I swear I never would make it on a crab vessel or a fishing boat. I would have gone overboard a long time ago. So once I get through this rat's nest, I will get back with you all on my theory of how I can set up this hammock for Pekko, which he will inevitably not like. But hey, who knows? We'll see what happens. untangling cords a superpower of yours? Also, comment down below. Our goal is to make two 25-foot sections of paracord. Which is more than enough, but it's all they really had there in Walmart. Now I do have one extra hammock strap that I brought. Do I use that? I was going to use that to make his leash longer for tonight. Yeah, paracord's cheap. And there's conveniently damage right in the middle anyway. Perfect. Problem solved. Now, let's see what kind of weird knot we can make. Okay, 2 square knots later. Now normally I would not use this for the weight of a human, and this will take some trial and error to dial in. Five seconds in, I already ripped something. Gotta move. Gotta go to the other side. It's probably gonna have to be higher up. We'll see. Try the other side. Well, I did buy carabiners. Yeah, it's going to be much higher. Hey! You wonder why I just didn't bring the tent, huh? Well, I'm gonna try something new. I think that's about as good as I'm gonna make it. I can throw his blanket in there, but I think I know what's gonna happen. Okay, so in looking into my crystal ball, I'm going to put a dog treat in there. He is going to try to get into it, probably not like it, and tear it, and I'll be out $40. Pekko, you ready? Pekko. Oh, somebody's too. At the very least, I'll use it as a ground claw. Here, go. Come on. What I got? No. Well, if you predicted Pekko's going to eat 2 treats and not get in, you win. I think the fundamental idea and concept of having your dog in a hammock with you looks good on paper, but actually doing it might be a different story. Yeah, I just might lower it and stick it on the ground as a ground cloth. We shall see. Ugh. Although at the very least, we'll come in. At the very least, I can raise it up and maybe put my camera gear underneath it, or use it as some type of underquilt, maybe block some of the wind. Well, not all is lost. Yes, I know you're there. You can't have any of this. You can have this. What's this? Good boy. Can't have pepper jack. After you finish your bites. What is it? Did you fall down a well? You're gonna be a lucky dog later. You get steak and sweet potato. How good is that? Something's snapping some twigs out there. And then we got the old bear spray if we need it. Damn it. No, you were not eating a plastic cap. Yes, I know I left a piece of yolk on the ground. I know you'll find it. Now, something that's new to me down here in Virginia is a lot of campfires will have a real big rock put in the center of them. When I grew up in upstate New York, we didn't have that. So I can only imagine it probably just helps maybe leave a spot dry, or at the end of the fire, give it an opportunity to stamp it out a bit. Pekko, hey, wanna go hang the bear bag? Do you want to go to the bark park? Do you want to lie there and be a furworm? Furworm Pecky. Now when hanging your bear bag, it's always important to get everything tangled as much as possible, to not tie the knot correctly around something you're going to use to throw over that thing, and to promptly get it stuck on the ground and everything around it. Nope. I'm just going to have to use something heavier. I give up. It's ridiculous. Hi, Pekko. Pekko, if we ever have to survive in the wilderness, you should just leave me. Ta-da! Well, Pekko and I had a fun afternoon. Ish. I got something for you. What's this? Good boy. Wait. Wait. Touch. 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 And I had thought about that as well. I love to homebrew. I used to brew regularly. I had a pretty decent setup. I think it would be fun to get back into a little bit. Kind of come up with a beer, make an episode out of it with Brewmeister Pekko. Dress him up in lederhosen or whatever. But I haven't done it recently. You know, I can make a beer for a hike, see how it turns out, give it a review later on a hiking video. Another thing I was thinking about making of my own was music. So being a music teacher, I have some experience making my own music, mostly classical style stuff. Not really what you would consider beats, but it's just too time consuming to make videos and then also make the music for your videos in any kind of like extensive way. When you really get orchestrating and making music, you're lucky if 8 hours gives you about 30 seconds of music, and there just isn't time for that. So that idea had to go out the window quick. Although I probably will compose a theme song for the intro. for the channel. I think that'd be fun. I have an idea. So, yeah, we'll see in a couple weeks. What? You demanding pets? You miss your boys? I miss your boys too. Don't worry, we'll convince them all to come out. Otso and Samson. So yeah, leave a comment or something if you'd like to see me make a beer. Then we'll break it out on the channel on a hike sometime. I think that'd be kind of fun to get back into it. I'm trying to get into hobbies that I used to enjoy. Spending all that time with COVID, it kind of made me focus on things a little bit differently. Yeah, I think that would be fun. But you can't have any of the beer. Oh, well, I guess that's the perfect time to do a little backstory about the name Pekko. P-E-K-K-O. Now, if any of you out there are home brewers, you might know that there is a hop called Pekko. So we were trying to figure out what to call our dog. What were you called first? Mini Coda? Mini Coda, puppy number 1. So Janine, we wanted to come up with a Finnish name. And since we're both music teachers, we thought Sibelius. But Sibelius is 4 syllables. It's kind of hard to say. You got to keep it to 3 syllables or less for dogs. And so she started diving into the Finnish lore. And apparently, Pekko is the Finnish god or deity of brewing beer and harvest of crops. I'm still in frame. So that just kind of stuck. It was 2 syllables, easy to say. Pekko. And it kind of rang true with the homebrew past. And that name just stuck instantly. Pekko. I like it. Now Samsa, we picked Samsa up about a year after we got Pekko. It was over winter break. And we had taken Pekko down to Florida, in the Keys. No, wait. No, we left Pekko with his grandma, I think. Yes, we left Pekko with his grandma for a week and a half. And we get a call from the breeder we had worked with in the past and says, hey, basically I got too many puppies. This one's probably not going to be show quality. We'll cut you a deal. Do you want to give him a good home? Because she had gotten to know us and she had seen Pekko growing up, and you know Pekko's treated well. So then we picked up puppy number 2. Puppy number 2, I don't even know what he was. Charlie? He might have been called that first. I don't know. And so we're thinking of another name for this one, and apparently there's a Finnish version of Johnny Appleseed to Pekko. And his name is Samsa. And Samsa basically, Pekko does the planting, and then Samsa tends the crops. Or I could have it flipped up, but they're brothers essentially, or they're some kind of relation. So Samsa was puppy number 2. Yeah, Pekko and Samsa. That's just perfect. And then I'm out hiking about 4 months ago, with my buddy from high school. We're on the AT someplace in Pennsylvania. And I get a text from Janine. I want puppy. and it was a cute puppy. And so I immediately said, well, how much does that cost? And then when I had a little mini stroke and said, there's no way, just can't. Then the wheels got turning, and then we had talked to the breeder again, and so basically this dog is going to be raised by us and then shown. Then once he shows and gets bred, or studs, or whatever it's called for them, then we get to keep him and maybe a puppy from the litter, or the sale of a puppy for the litter. So now we're talking. I don't have to shell out a bunch of money for a dog, even though these boys are priceless. So I just happened to be halfway towards the breeder anyway in upstate New York. I'm like, fine. So I drive like 6 hours on a Sunday before I have to get back to work. And lo and behold, I come back with this puppy, a brown version of all of these. And so we started thinking, looking at names, and nothing was kind of sticking. Just, there was no more relationship to like brewing beer and Finnish deities and lore. So we just couldn't help but either call this dog, this puppy, Nugget or Little Bear. And I didn't really want to call him Nugget, even though it is a really cute name. But I don't think Nugget would have been particularly... man, that dog was cute, though. Still is. So we kept thinking, well, the Finnish word for bear is otso. 2 syllables, different than the other ones. So that pretty much was it. We've got Pekko, Samsa, and Otso. And that is our life with Lappies. So up first tonight's chef-tastrophe is boiled sweet potato for Pekko. So we're going to go ahead and get some of that started. Then after that, we'll get some steak. Give Pekko his meal first. Then I will continue on with the various cooking. He's a good boy. He made it all the way up here. Got a little hot. But we stopped 5 times. You got water 3 times. You got the shade. And you even got pets from strangers. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I gotta get this gear thing figured out. My pack without water was 35 pounds, which I think is less than last time. I didn't bring the tent. I know the tent's about 4 pounds. My hammock stuff is 2. But I bought another hammock, which is like 8 ounces of stuff. I hiked in with a gallon of water. So we're all starting to push 50 pounds, which for an overnight is absurd. And of course I had to bring the camp chair. But we didn't hike very far, only like 2 miles. No, close to 3 miles. Then we got to hike 2 miles to Big Schloss in the morning if it's not raining. And then down another 3 miles, so maybe 5 miles tomorrow. Five dry miles, I gotta remember that. Pekko, we gotta save the water. We need a liter for breakfast. Because there's no water between here and there. If it rains, I can always collect tarp water. It's pure as the driven snow. Okay. This is the one that I definitely did not sous vide. So I cut the corners off. This one has been unadulterated. Alright. Okay. That is a sirloin steak. And it looks like it's ready to go into the fire. All right. Give her a little flip. This fire's so hot, I'm gonna have to take my time and do some flipperoos. Okay, I gotta definitely rotate this. And there's the bloody plate. And back at her. Do my best to get the shadow out of the way. This thing was built for hot dogs. It sure looks good on the outside. Well, What is it, Pecky? There were some lights off in the distance. I swear it would have been like hiker lights, but it just stayed so far away. It really did anything. It's a time of year where you can see through all the trees for like miles. I half expected to have company. Okay, we're gonna do something really stupid here. We're gonna try to balance this for 1 second on its own. Steak vision. I think the balance point of the superior stick is the way to go. Oh, let's see how we're doing. Oh, she's pretty cooked. She is, yeah, pretty cooked. Let's go ahead and let her sit for a few minutes. All right, we'll let the steak rest for a few minutes. Let's see what we're dealing with. Well, I'll tell you what. If you like your steak Pittsburgh style, this is the way to do it. So, I'm going to give each piece just a little zap. I'm not really worried about Pekko. I mean, this is his steak. But still, we'll just give her a little zap on the inside and come back and cut her up. And in no time, the steak has been cauterized. So now we've got our sirloin all cooked and ready to go. Pekko, you ready to eat some food? You got some steak coming up here in a second. Of course, I'm probably cutting through the plate I need for the second round. Oh well. There's a reason why this is a test. Because I am learning every step of the way. All right, I just have to try a bite. This is almost impossible to do, but I have to give this a shot. Chew's not that bad. Might be because it's fresher. The steaks I used last time were frozen for about 6 months, which will lead to some differences. But I'm surprised. It's a strong contender. We're going to see what happens. Meanwhile, back to the cutting. Is 8 ounces of steak too much to give to a 55-pound dog who hiked? Like, I have no idea. The steak itself is only like 300 calories. And I know that these dogs, I don't know exactly. From my research, a little bit, we're looking at like 1,100 calories a day for them. Obviously, it depends upon how active they are and what they're doing and how they're doing it. Pekka, are you sure you want this steak? It's looking pretty good. Like there's nothing on it. Literally just meat. And that's rare for me to say that. Oh, somebody's paying attention. Yeah, you know what's up. All right. I think that is what we need. I think it's time to get Pekko's dinners ready. Now it is time to try the sous vide sirloin. So, same steak, cut, same brand, same date, blah, blah, everything's the same. Except this has been cooked for 24 hours at 132 degrees. So is it worth the effort, the time, the cost maybe? I don't know. I mean, clearly the steak that I just made probably wasn't, I mean, it's warm in the middle. It all depends upon what you're after, I guess. Apparently I'm after dripping blood all over my pants. But it's cooked blood. The bear doesn't know any better. We are. Now I did a poor job of not putting blood everywhere on the last one. So we'll see what happens here. Now for me, I do have some of the world's second greatest steak seasoning, which I will use here momentarily. But after it is cooked, time to be on the fire. Finding the balance point for this made this so much easier. The superior stick. We want to put a fast sear on it. Oh, it's actually getting lighter because of the moisture loss. I can hear it. All right, let's give it the flipperoo. Someday I'll learn about shadows. All right. Use just a little bit more time on that side. Back she goes. All right, let's take a look now. Yeah, there we go. Got a little crust. Let's flip her around. And in we go. All right, let's go ahead and stick this down. I promise I'll learn about shadows sometime soon. Okay. Looks good. Looks very good. The meat is pasteurized all the way through. But what meat does is that it doesn't respond too well to high temperatures. So, for example, everybody knows that, or knows a time when they made a hamburger and they took this juicy beef patty and turned it into a hockey puck. So the point of sous vide is to kind of stop that. And if we leave the moisture in the meat itself, then we are left with a juicier cut of meat. Now, it's definitely got a crust. It's pink, medium well, I'd have to say, edge to edge. I'll tell you what, it cuts a lot easier. So, is it worth it? Well, we'll have to find out. Well, let's throw a little seasoning on. And I'll let you guys figure out what's going on. Anyway, if you get one thing from this video, try sous videing some steak. It will change how you do things. And I think there's a place on the trail for this stuff. If you're going to hut food out and you're going to cook it over a fire, this makes it so much easier and tastier. All right, so it's about time to go to bed. We got our hammock set up, all ready to go. Peggy's here, got the water bowl. Let's chill out. And yeah, we're about ready to go to bed. So let's see how the hammock experiment goes tonight, and we'll chat in the morning. The sous vide steak for hiking, definitely worth it. So very good. So I'm going to do a little bit more research and take a look at some things just to see if there's anything I missed that would be like, don't do this. But I don't think it's that way. I think it'll be really good because that steak was so much better. You could cut it with a spoon. Sirloin. It was like filet. Point. Anyway, okay, guys. Catch back to you in the morning. Good night. Good morning, everybody. It is about 6 a.m. It's still dark out, but the sun's starting to show. And we're going to go ahead and get on the road so we can try to be up to Big Schloss there with some decent time and sunrise. Everybody slept through the night okay. Pekko didn't use the blanket or anything, just slept on the ground. So now that I know that, I might just bring something smaller, like a ground sheet for a tent, just to kind of get him up off of any kind of moisture or anything. So, but we are going to go ahead and get up and get walking. Somebody looks happy this morning. Hi, Pekko. Let's get you a little bit of breakfast. We'll get on down the trail. So for breakfast this morning, we have some hard-boiled egg with some dog food. And this will be my last attempt, yes, the last attempt to bring normal dog food on the trail with you. It's heavy, and you don't eat it. Pekko? Yeah, you. I'm going to be a good boy, and you're going to eat your breakfast? Well, let's see what happens. Again, his actual name is the sound of a Ziploc bag opening. Oh, Pekko, you suck. Look, you're getting too used to the sirloin steaks, but we gotta eat our dog food. Normally I have to save it for later. But, oh, Daddy, where's the steak? Yeah, steak. Steak's at home. And just like that, it's daylight. If any of you are out there aspiring hammock campers, this guy right here is awesome. Hang time hook. Throw it up on your ridge line. Use it to put your phone on, watch videos, edit videos. Basically do all the things you need hands-free. It is so useful. About 15 bucks. You can get them online. Like Dutchware carries them, a few other retailers. And we're back on the trail. A little bit behind, but we're not gonna film too much on the way to Big Schloss. It's already 7 o'clock. One of the hammock camping has many advantages, but one disadvantage is the time. It does take a little bit longer to set up and take down, even if you know what you're doing. You ready, boy? I think he's ready to go. And right on cue. Come on. Sun's up, looking nice on the trail. If I can get a clear shot up here of Big Schloss, I'll zoom in on it. It's basically a big, massive rock outcropping. I guess in German it means place or palace or castle, something along those lines. The view from up there is amazing. Oh, Pekko, come on, no sniffs. And so I'm hoping to get up there soon. Real soon. I think the sun will cooperate, but it's still about another mile to go. I tell you. So watching all the AT hiking videos that I do, which I've been watching them for years with a dream of someday doing the AT, with the reality of wondering how the hell I'd ever make that happen. And I know there's everyone that says, just you got to go do it and blah, blah, blah. But where I'm at in my stage of life, I think it's going to be one of those things you do in retirement. Maybe it'll give me incentive to stay in shape than a zero or an egg, which I currently am. But so they, on the trail, you do a lot of following the white blaze. So blazing, there's, blue blazing, yellow blazing, pink blazing, a whole bunch of other things. But the one that I seem to be exceptionally gifted at is silk blazing. And it goes along the lines with my secret powers of tangling ropes or filaments, I guess. The spider webs that I run into on trail. It's crazy. Just I'm usually the slowpoke, so I'm up front, and Pekko, come on. And so just spiderweb after spiderweb. There has to be some kind of invention that I can make to stop these spider webs from blasting you in the face. I've had a few ideas. I don't know, maybe I'll tinker around with something stupid later on. But man, it's just so annoying. All right, well, we're getting back on down the trail as the spider web smacks me in the head. Maybe I could stick something on Pekko, like a thing that just sticks up, a little flag or something. That way Pekko could kind of catch them all for me. That might work. So now I'm on the section that I've never been on before as we head up towards Big Schloss. I am looking for a stealth camping spot that's close to the summit area, because I'm gonna come back up here and try to get some proper timing in for when I get some shots. I mean, I'm just doing all this as a hobby, but as a school teacher, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning every day anyway. So I find that is how I'm going to do this. Though it was tough getting out of the hammock this morning. It was just so comfortable and warm, and it's such a better sleep than a tent for me. Oh, well. These are starting opening up. These ridge walks are just so nice. Just so nice. I will say this though. Advantage of the hammock is that I can make almost anywhere my campsite within reason on the East Coast. Janine and I like to go for about a month in the summer and just camp out west wherever we can. And there's some spots where hammock camping would not be an option. But here and everything east of the Mississippi, there's trees everywhere. So yeah, be on the lookout for a perfect spot for another time. Somebody's leading the charge up the mountain. They must think there's steak up there. There she is. Only downside, it's gonna hike a quarter past it, then a quarter back. Not sure if the stealth camping close by is going to work out. We're on this exposed ridge that's basically, well, if you like thorny, prickly objects, this place is for you. And in a few weeks, this is going to be murder. Absolute murder. But there is a pretty well traveled path in between all of this pain and suffering. Nice clouds. There might be something closer up there. I remember there being a small little, real small stealth spot. You might stick a one-person tent up in it, but again, I don't know about any even now, I swear, the dead ones are getting me. But yeah, I don't know about any hammocks up along there. Seems like it'd be a pretty tough sell. Well, check it out here in a few minutes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has hammock camping written all over it. Almost to the top. One of the challenges with our boy Pekko is that this trail is traveled with dogs frequently. So trying to yank him up a trail is, he's out of here. But when you get up here, we get into these pines. It's, well, it opens up into something absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You ready, bud? Come on. No smells that way. Come on. Let's go. Nope. Up. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Now this is more like it. Got Picky chilling out down there. Well, that was certainly a lot of fun. Hopefully we got some good shots. And we're gonna hustle down the mountain so we can make it down to Silver Creek at a reasonable hour and then get back to the boys. They're in their crates right now while Janine goes to work, so won't be too long. But yeah, so no filming on the way down. We're just gonna hike. Well, that was certainly a fun hike. Relax by a campfire. Work on sous vide cooking for the trail, which I think is definitely something to look into. Now Pekko and I are going to head over to Silver Creek Farm and say hello. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later on down the trail. Pekko, you say goodbye? Thanks for watching.